Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Wednesday Wisdom on the Educational AD Podcast. We'll be right back with today's Wednesday Wisdom guest. But first, let's acknowledge our great podcast partners, the global community of women in high school sports, We Coach, the Florida Coaches Coalition, and Wall of Fame by Vital Signs. You've heard me say before, these are four great organizations. You need to be a part of them. So check them all out. And now don't hit that fast forward button. I'm watching you. Stay with us for the next 3 minutes as we give our sponsors the shout out that they deserve. We want to say thanks to Gipper for their support of the podcast. Go to Gipper.com and see how athletic directors are creating world-class content for their school's social media channel. Use our code ADPOD10 and you'll get 10% off. That's Gipper.com. Create custom content for your school's social media channel. We also want to thank Wall of Fame by Vital Signs. You know, they're on a mission to bring your school's legacy to life. The Wall of Fame is an interactive touchscreen video console that makes it easier than ever to celebrate your entire community, your best students in athletics, academics, and the art, and from past and present, okay? And it gives you a chance to showcase your school's diverse history and your proudest moments. Go to vitalsignswalloffame.com, check out their great products, and then go to the link, vitalsignswalloffame.com/Jake, and you'll get 5% off. Check them out today, Vital Signs Wall of Fame. We also want to say thanks to Snap Mobile. Go to snapraise.com and check out their entire suite of platforms designed to help you as an athletic director. There's Snap Connect, Snap Manage, Snap Store, and of course, there's Snap Raise, their fundraising platform that's helped schools just like yours raise over $700 million. They even have a program where you can get your funding before you actually start your fundraiser. I don't think anyone else offers that. Go to snapraise.com and check them out today. That's snapraise.com. We also want to thank Hometown Ticketing, the leading digital ticketing provider to schools and colleges. Go to hometownticketing.com. They're going to show you how to sell your tickets online, not just for athletic events, but things like school plays, school concerts, dances, even graduation. And the best part, every step of the way, you're going to have a dedicated client success manager that's providing you hands-on support. That's every step of the way. Go to hometownticketing.com, get started today. Simple and easy online ticketing. We also want to say thanks to Sideline Interactive, indoor score tables and video boards. One of the best purchases I ever made was a Sideline Interactive indoor score table. Go to sidelineinteractive.com and schedule a live web demo to see their tables and their boards in action. They not only generate income for your department, but they also create the ultimate game day experience for your student athletes. That's sidelineinteractive.com. Check them out today. We want to thank Huddle for their support. Go to huddle.com and change the way you see the game. Huddle is going to provide your teams, your coaches, your student athletes with the tools they need to play at the highest level. It's going to be a professional grade solution to the challenges that you and your staff face. Go to huddle.com and see why we believe in sports and teams believe in Huddle. Join the 6 million users and turn your school into a Huddle school. We also want to say thanks to Final Forms, the industry leader in forms and registration, but there's so much more than that. Go to finalforms.com/Jake. Find out how they can help your stakeholders, your coaches, and you with all the forms that are involved with high school athletics. Talk to a team that's walked in your shoes. Go to finalforms.com/Jake and get started. And we want to say thanks to Athletic Surveys by LifeTrack. Athletic surveys are a quick, easy, and affordable way for you to collect comprehensive data that allows you to evaluate and improve your entire program. Athletic directors usually only hear back from that 2%, the squeaky wheel parent or the frustrated student athlete. And we need to hear from them so we can affect positive change in our program. But athletic surveys connects you with the 98% of your parents that really value your program. And that's a tremendously valuable tool to have when you're talking to a school board, a parent, or your boss. And Athletic Surveys will create a custom survey that allows you to take the pulse of those parents and those student athletes. Go to athleticsurveys.com and get started. Let them help you take your athletic program from good to great. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Wednesday Wisdom on the Educational AD Podcast. Our guest today is a friend of the show, Molly Tomlinson. Molly is the Assistant Athletic Director at Deerfield High School in Deerfield, Illinois. Does a great job for her school and her program, and thought she'd be a great addition to our Wednesday Wisdom team. So, Molly, welcome back. What do you have for our listeners today on Wednesday Wisdom?
Glad to be back. Thank you. So I'm going to talk a little bit about maximizing your space and finding something to celebrate. So as ADs, we have to think like a coach. And so we have to use our space and here we'd like to create a space where one, spectators are both respectful and respected. I think fan behavior, could be an issue. And I think is in a lot of places. And so we try to kind of establish a nice, respectful place, a clean place, a welcoming place, where all people feel invited. Two, kind of maximize your space in a way where people want to be there. Then that kind of leads to this, right? Where they want to be there, whether they're a parent, whether they're a player, whether they're a community member. I think it's also important to think about the opposing team. So making sure they know where the restrooms are, where the locker room is, where their halftime, if necessary, where their halftime space is, as well as officials, right? It's official shortages all over the place. And so we're just lucky to have umpires and refs and officials at our games. And so creating that as a space where they are welcomed as well. And then finally, I think you can we try to find creative ways to get people at your contests, whether it's an indoor sport or an outdoor sport. And so that kind of leads me to my second point here today about finding something to celebrate. So you've got your players, you've got your officials and your opposing teams and parents and fans, but we always try to, get spectators to see our kids play, right? That's what we're all about, to support our students, our student athletes. So think about maximizing your pregame time and your halftime, whether that's maybe you had a team or an individual who went to state that year. You can find a time, maybe the next season, like for example, we had a really successful fall season. Off the top of my head, we had girls swimmers that made it to state. We had state champion. And so we found a way to recognize them at a halftime of a basketball game in the winter. Okay, just to kind of recognize them in a different space, because we felt like that's a nice time to do it. You could also do appreciation nights during your pregame or halftime. Appreciation nights, maybe it's a night to appreciate your maintenance staff, right? Your custodians who keep your spaces alive and clean, and really who you should work together with anyway. So that's a nice time to do it. You could do a teacher appreciation night as well, whether that's the coach initiating it, whether it's the athletic department initiating the teachers coming together, or you could do a night such as, this year here at Deerfield, we celebrated the 50th year anniversary of Title IX. And so we did kind of like a PR little announcement about a little historical piece about Title IX and celebrating that. You could do pack the places where you could raffle different prizes. And that's kind of fun for the students, kind of geared towards student support, who are maybe not currently playing. And so you can raffle prizes such as free swag for your school, right? Maybe a free sweatshirt or a t-shirt or whatever it may be. You could raffle, this was a really popular one. In the winter, we hosted girls basketball and boys basketball postseason all in the same week. So it was 4 really busy nights, but really fun nights. And so we're like, okay, how can we get kids there? So we gave every student in the student section a free t-shirt, just a simple, right, Warrior Nation t-shirt. And then we raffled off prizes like a free parking spot for the following year. And those are here, those go at $350 a pop. And so in my mind as a parent, that's really expensive. So it's kind of cool to kind of find fun, creative ways to get students at your games. Let's see, you can also encourage your programs to pair up. So whether you initiate it or you encourage your head coaches to pair up with a different program and go support them. So if you're the boys soccer program, maybe the girls soccer program can pair up with you, and the girls program picks a night in the fall where they go support the boys, and then the boys do the same in the spring, because that's when we play soccer here in the Midwest. And so you could do kind of fun things like that. And finally, a little plug also for, I guess, our DSI program. We have a Deerfield Sports Information Program that is a great group of students who are maybe not super interested in competing on the field or in the pool, but they are interested in the behind the scenes things like announcing the games, doing the scoreboard, doing the live broadcast and doing the play-by-plays. So kind of that's the sideline feel. We have a lot of students who are interested in that. They just haven't found experience to do it. And so we have one staff member who oversees this group of students. And so this Deerfield Sports Information Club, we literally have a calendar for all of our home events that need, again, a scorekeeper or an announcer or things like that. And, it's hard to find some workers, right? Depending on if you pay them or not, it's hard to find people to work your games. So this is a nice way to get the students involved. And again, get them experience, and maybe they've got some good things to put on their resume, or maybe a new kind of pathway for their future. So just wanted to plug that. But again, that's kind of a way to maximize our space, to have the DSI crew on the sidelines, kind of getting involved and, gaining that knowledge for them too.
Boy, that list you gave is exhaustive, but there's so many great ideas, and they're great because we used them at my schools as well. I love how you talked about creating a positive environment for the officials. And I also love what you talked about involving the students, in a number of different roles. And you brought up a great point too. You as an athletic director, you don't have to be that hands-on supervisor. You can find a faculty member, you can find another coach. And the thing about, the announcing and the tech stuff, you have kids right now at your school. If you're a listener, you have kids right now that they love sports, but maybe they're not on a team, but they're kind of that sports geek that would love to do that kind of stuff. Again, just another example of why you're doing such a great job there at Deerfield. Molly, appreciate you taking time and sharing with our listeners as always. If one of our listeners wanted to reach out, how can they get a hold of you and pick your brain a little bit more?
Definitely. So feel free to email me at mtomlinson. So that's MTOMLINSON at DIST113.org. And you can also literally just Google Deerfield High School Athletics in Illinois.
Okay. And for our NIAAA members, Molly's information is also on the NIAAA portal. Molly Tomlinson, thanks again for sharing today on Wednesday Wisdom, and all the best as we continue with the spring sports season.
Awesome. Thanks for having me, Jake.
For our listeners, we do this every week and just about every day with new content on the podcast. We also upload our Zoom videos to the Educational AD Podcast YouTube channel. We appreciate you listening. Come back next Wednesday for another segment of Wednesday Wisdom. And again, if you're in spring sports, watch out for those lacrosse balls. Hey, we'll talk to you later. Thanks again for tuning in to this segment of Wednesday Wisdom. Before we go, we do want to give a shout out to all of our sponsors. Huddle, As a football coach, I used Huddle for years. As an AD, I made sure our school was a Huddle school. Go to huddle.com. Join the 6 million users that are using Huddle. I want to thank Hometown Ticketing, the leading digital ticketing provider to schools and colleges. I don't think I need to say anything more. Go to hometownticketing.com to get started. I want to thank Snap Mobile, the parent company for an entire suite of platforms, including Snap Raise, hands down the best fundraising platform out there. Go to snapraise.com for more information. I want to say thanks to Gipper. Go to gipper.com, start creating custom content for your school's social media channels. Don't forget to use our code ADPOD10 and you get 10% off. I want to say thank you to Final Forms, the industry leader in forms and registration. Help your stakeholders, your coaches, and yourself by going to finalforms.com/Jake. We also want to thank Athletic Surveys by LifeTrack. Go to athleticsurveys.com. They'll create a custom survey that lets you take the pulse of your parents and your student athletes. That's athleticsurveys.com. I want to say thanks to Vital Signs Wall of Fame. Go to vitalsignswalloffame.com. Check out their great products. And when you're ready to buy, use the link vitalsignswalloffame.com/Jake for a big discount. And finally, Sideline Interactive Indoor Score Tables and Video Boards. One of the best purchases I ever made was a Sideline Interactive Score Table. Go to sidelineinteractive.com, schedule a live web demo, see their products in action. Thanks again for listening to Wednesday Wisdom. We'll see you next time on the Educational AD Podcast.